Welcome to the magnificent Lake Tronsee in Austria. The Upper Austria Kitefoil Grand Prix returned for 2022 in one of the most picturesque lakes found in Europe. It also marks the beginning of the highly anticipated 2022 season for the Kitefoil World Series.
We are very lucky to have this competition here. It's for us the possibility to serve the area for the whole world. Yes, the competitors are from all over the world, I think, and we are lucky to can welcome these starters here in Ebensee.
"58 of the most accomplished riders from 26 nations and 5 continents visited this spectacular location, ready to compete and start the season in style. Lake Tronsee has long been a famous venue for hosting water sports events, and the reason why is obvious.
And here we are in Tronsee for the first event of the World Series, so I'm really excited.
Boys and girls from 26 nations here for racing in this Upper Austrian Kitefoil Grand Prix is amazing. It's what we worked for almost 20 years now. And to be the host for all these young people from all over the world is, after 2 years of pandemic and all these troubles coming along with that, is simply that like a dream comes true.
Registration Day was a great chance for everyone to get a first taste of the lake and its conditions. Every rider has their own perspective on what preparation should look like. The riders were eager for some real competitive action on day one, but mountain weather meant no racing for the opening event in Austria. Kitefoil racing wasn't an option, but 58 male and female riders managed to make their fun in different and creative ways. The waiting game is an inevitable part of any wind-powered sport, but if you have to wait anywhere in the world, then Tronsee is not a bad place to do it. The beautiful Austrian lake is a water sports paradise, but pretty good for mountain biking too.
It's very important for us to have the kite foilers here, the wing foilers, and I think they feel very well because we have the ideal situation for doing the water sports, but also when you're not doing sports, for your leisure time, that's also important, eating, drinking and having a good time.
Look around, you can do everything. You can go hiking, you can rent a SUP, you can go kiting, foiling, everything you want, sailing. It's really, really cool here. It's really cool to live here. And yeah, it's great, I think.
The riders were also not able to keep their kites in the sky for the second day, but they did have a great chance for a kitefoil get-together session, as they were hosted on the river cruise ship MS Poseidon on an evening to remember. They all had a great time with each other on a relaxing cruise across the lake. After no racing the previous 2 days of scheduled competition, the 6 to 8 knot breeze offered some hope of getting some racing completed. The anticipation was even higher, as the last 2 days were to be covered via a live stream for sports enthusiasts around the world. The men were competing in 2 groups, yellow and blue. The hero of the day came from the yellow group. Martin Dolenz proved his skills in the race that endured to the finish line, ending the race with relief as he took the winner's gun ahead of Marcus Edegran and Janis Maus, who had led in the early stages. Last year's kitefoiling youth world champion from Poland, Julia Damasewicz, showed why she is considered one of the most talented young riders and managed to win a race in the female fleet that saw only 6 riders completing the course. The money prize up for grabs between the men's and women's fleets wasn't the only motivation for participants. They also saw the competition as an opportunity to check in on any recent developments in equipment. The Kitefoil World Series events are open to any choice of equipment, creating a perfect competitive scenario to test the latest gear.
You know, it's really interesting. I haven't seen anything new yet, but I think everybody has a wider range of all the different manufacturing brands, and I think for them it's more about testing the different sizes and figuring out what works best for their riding style. So using the Olympic class equipment, but figuring out and mixing and matching everything. You know, with this open style, you can test everything against the top guys and kind of see what works best for you. So yeah, it's really cool to have that opportunity here.
With only one race completed after 3 days of competition, the final day arrived with much pressure on to squeeze in as much racing as possible. In the afternoon, enough breeze arrived to complete 3 qualifying races for the women and the 2 groups for the men. In the women's fleet, Damasevich followed up her victory with another masterclass, winning the opening heat of the session. Daniela Moroz won the second one, but the Polish Wonder Kid saved her best for last with another impressive win. Meanwhile, the 2 sides of men's qualifying were playing out their own drama. In the blue group, there were a few tangles and pile-ups. In the yellow group, 22-year-old Dolenz dominated the fleet, winning 3 of the total of 4 races. With so much action on the racecourse, it was inevitable that protests would have to be heard on shore at Ebensee. All the while, the best of the breeze trickled away from Tronsee, and time ran out to see the medal series played out. The results of qualifying would have to stand as final. The outcome was young riders Julia Damasevich and Martin Dolenz both becoming the first-time winners of a World Series event. It was a well-deserved reward for their consistent performances, as they both scored 3 race victories from 4.
Today we managed to run 3 races. It accomplished the number of 4 races we did at the whole regatta, and I managed to win 2 of the races that we did today, and I'm pretty happy with that. The wind was pretty tricky and was changing a lot, so it was a lot about watching the gusts and watching the changes, and that's what I did. And I think that was kind of my clue to the bullets, and I'm really happy with that.
Today finally we got some wind in the afternoon and we did 3 full-on races with 23s. Most of them were like quite good powered. There was one that was like not so powered, and the conditions were really tricky. It was shifting all day long, and yeah, I just did a really good job at reading the shifts.
It was challenging, but also exciting. The Kitefoil World Series is on for 2022, and Lake Tronsee helped some of the top riders learn more about their own skills. Every challenge helps us become better, and that can also apply to these elite athletes.
Let's go!
I think it's one of the best organized events of the year. Yeah, we need a little bit more wind next time, and then it could be super nice for everyone.